Hi! So for this lesson, we have two main objectives that we want to do. The first, we want to be able to identify the three types of rocks and how they are formed. And then our second objective, we want to be able to explain what is the rock cycle. So rocks seem pretty tough, but we have learned that they can change. So I want you to think, what is one way that a rock can change? Did you know that rocks can change into other types of rocks? So cool. This amazing process is called the rock cycle. We have thousands of different kinds of rocks. So how do geologists make sense of them all? Well, we know that we can identify minerals based on their properties, and that rocks are made up of one or more minerals. So geologists have taken this knowledge and they have come up with three kinds of rocks: igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. Now throughout this unit, in other lessons, we will spend a specific lesson talking about all three types of rocks. So with this lesson, we're just going to do a brief overview of those types of rocks. The first type of rock we're going to overview today is igneous. And igneous means formed by fire. So we can know that and help us remember that igneous rocks form in volcanoes. Wherever magma and lava are found, when they cool, they're going to form a rock. Sedimentary rock is another type. When sediments, those broken down pieces after weathering and erosion, over time they're going to collect at the bottom of lakes and rivers and oceans, and those are just going to keep getting piled up on top of each other. Layer after layer are going to get piled up until it gets so heavy that they are eventually going to get cemented together. So sedimentary rock are formed from different sediments after weathering and erosion have taken place. Metamorphic is our third type of rock. Now, metamorphosis means to change. So metamorphic rocks are changed from other types of rocks. When igneous rocks or sedimentary rocks go through lots of heat and pressure, those are the two key things, they will change into a new rock. So metamorphic rocks need heat and pressure to change into a new rock. We have a rock cycle song that can help us remember the three types of rocks and how they were formed. I'm going to sing the song first, and then at the end of the lesson, I have just the music only so that you can sing along too. Here's our rock cycle song. Sedimentary rock has been formed in layers, often found near water sources with fossils from decayers. Then there's igneous rock, here since Earth was born. Molten lava cooled and hardened, that's how it is formed. These two types of rocks can also be transformed. With pressure, heat, or chemicals, metamorphic they'll become.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Brought to you by rocks.
Did you ever stop to think that the whole world is covered with rocks? And every rock used to be different. When you're looking at a rock, you're looking at history.
Careful.
See, all the rocks in the world used to be melted rocks, what we call molten rocks. Molten. Like this molten rock in here. And do you see the bubble on top? It's from the heat. It's just like the rocks that come out of volcanoes. Rocks like this, rocks like this, rocks like these. See these pits? They were formed by bubbles and liquid rock that came out of a volcano. Now sometimes the rock from volcanoes will come up onto the Earth's surface. Now when these rocks get on the Earth's surface, they push other rocks down. It pushes down on the layers below. Push the old rocks down. Push them down, and they'll squeeze together and swirl around. And when they blend together, they form a new type of rock, like the minerals that are swirled together in this piece of marble. Anyway, wind and rain moving over the Earth's surface break rock down into sand. And sometimes enough water will flow through the dust and sand, mix them together, push it around, and it'll dry out again and turn back into rock like these. Good thing I have my safety glasses on. Now this process where rocks are formed, broken down, and reforming as they come out of the molten earth and turn back into dust, into rocks again, has been going on since the world was formed. Billions of years ago. Rocks! Rock! Rocks! Rocks!
Rocks are formed in different ways. All the material in this sandstone once belonged to other rocks. That rocks!
Scientists like to think of 3 types of rock. Now, the first type you might call igneous rock. Igneous rock. Now, igneous comes from the word for fire. You know how you ignite the candle and you have igneous rocks? You know, igneous, ignite, that's from the word for fire. So see how the candle wax drips down the outside of the candle? Well, igneous rocks are often formed when hot lava drips down the outsides of volcanoes, and it cools to form rocks like this granite. See? The next type of rock we call sedimentary rock. Now, sediment, that's silt, mud, goop in rivers. So if you have a river and it's washing sand, mud, or silt, sediment, downstream, well, eventually the river may dry up or drain away, leaving the sediment, the sand, silt, or mud. Now, this sand would be heavy. It crushes down on itself, like this, squeezing itself together. Till eventually, after the water is completely drained away, after a few thousand years, you end up with a rock like this one. See the layers? Sedimentary rock often has layers in it because that's the way sand washes downstream in a river. Now, the last type of rock is sort of a combination of the other two. We call it metamorphic rock. Now, metamorphic means it's changed, it's metamorphosized. So, if you look at this, this is rock that was once sand, but it's been smushed together by huge pressures under very high heat. Pressure and heat, smashing the rock till it's just crushed flat like this. See, heat and pressure formed another rock.
So when you first look at a picture of the rock cycle, it seems really confusing. But if you just take a second to look at it, it's really not that bad. So we have igneous rocks here, and they are formed from magma, lava and magma, cooling and then hardening into the igneous rocks, which igneous rocks can then undergo heat and pressure to become a metamorphic rock. Or igneous rocks might melt and become magma again and cool again to be a new igneous rocks. Igneous rocks might undergo weathering and erosion to become sediment and then compact into a sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rocks, they might undergo heat and pressure to become metamorphic, or they might weather and erode back down into sediment and kind of get stuck in that process, right? They might sink way down into the earth to become magma and then form an igneous rock. So it really is a cycle with all the different rocks changing back and forth into different things. The important things to remember is that to form a metamorphic rock, it's going to take igneous and sedimentary, and under heat and pressure, then it's going to change into the metamorphic rock. The important thing about how igneous rocks are formed is from magma and lava being cooled and hardened, crystallized into that rock. Sedimentary rock has to take those sediments and compact them and cement them into the rock. So those are the 3 main types of rocks. Let's experiment in your kitchen.
is counting for Unit 6, Lesson 5. There is an assessment in the online school that I want you to take. It's just covering the 3 types of rocks and how they are formed and kind of what the rock cycle is. So be sure to take that assessment in the online school. Again, that's in Unit 6, Lesson 5. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.